Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be testing two different gel extension pop-off methods, and I'm going to be testing these methods using these new duck tips that I got. This set of nail tips was less than $10 on Amazon. I'll link it below for anybody who's interested. I really did like them. They were like the perfect length and I think like the perfect shape, exactly what I wanted to test these duck nails out. The only thing is, as you can see, what I kind of tried to show there is that the bottom parts of these are pretty flat, almost like how thumb extensions are usually kind of flat. I noticed that pretty much every size was flat at the bottom, which is fine for me, but that might be something to consider if you don't like that. You can always just file it to fit your cuticle shape if you like to put it right up on your cuticle. I always apply it a little bit above my cuticle anyways and kind of fill in that extra space with soft gel when I actually am doing non-pop-off method gel extensions, so that won't bother me when I actually do use these for an actual set. But after I found all of my sizes, I'm going to do a quick prep. I'm doing the pop-off method, so I'm not even going to take the drill out or anything, but if I was doing like an actual set on my nails, I definitely would get the drill out and get the little ball head bits and all that fun stuff to get the cuticle out. But for today's intents and purposes, the cuticle pusher is just fine. And I'm speeding the video up here so it looks like I'm going pretty ham, but I was pretty gentle. Definitely don't go that hard or you will hurt yourself. So I'm just doing a really quick cleanup. After I finish doing a little scrapey scrape here, I am going to get just a little cloth and some alcohol, and with my little Powerpuff sprayer, how cute, from Shein. It was like $2 or something, but I put alcohol in it, and now I'm taking my brush, which is what I used to get off a majority of that dust, and then I off camera wiped it off with a lint-free wipe. But the two methods I'm testing out are with this base peel off coat by Goy off Amazon. Again, this it's off Amazon. Reading the directions, it says cure for 60 seconds, and that's all it said. So I just assumed the rest. So what I'm gonna do is one coat of this on my thumb and my pinky. There's no even way to split it up since I have 5 fingers on this hand, so I just chose thumb and, did I say pinky? Thumb and index finger to test the peel off coat on, and then on the rest of my nails I'm going to do the other method, which will be cuticle oil and top coat. So this stuff was pretty thick, but after that cured, I went in on these 3 nails and I also carried it over onto my cuticles. I was pretty liberal and messy with that cuticle oil on purpose, and I chose one of my cuticle oils that has a brush on it. I didn't really want to use a dropper or anything else, so I'm just really generously applying that. And then I'm taking a top coat, which I happen to have a Goy brand top coat that I'm going in with, also from Amazon. So I am going in with that, and just wipe it off before you put it back into your bottle with cuticle oil all over it. I probably should have wiped it even better just to be on the safe side. But after that is all nice and cured, I'm going to take my tips, and I didn't buff the tips. I didn't apply any primer to the tips because I am planning to pop these right off, so I didn't worry about any of that. Now I'm going in to apply these with top coat. Some people will use base coat, but I didn't want anything sticky, and base coat is pretty adhesive and sticky, so I just want to use top coat for this. I have never applied tips with top coat though, so I had a little bit of trouble with the thumb because it was way thinner of a consistency than I'm used to with applying the tips. So you can see on the thumb I have 2 pretty big air bubbles, but oh well, these are pop-off nails, so wasn't too worried about it, and after I painted it you couldn't really see them anyways. But it gets better, so I didn't really have any air bubbles here, but just make sure if you have any spillage after you apply the tips that you wipe it off, and try not to get any of the gel on your nails or on your skin to avoid any allergies or anything like that. So just definitely try to avoid that the best you can. And with each application, you usually get better and better as you kind of get the feel of the products you're working with. So now I'm on to the fourth finger, attaching it with the top coat. And I have my little mini lamp here. I'm just flash curing them for 40 seconds ish. And then at the end, I'll stick my whole hand in the big lamp and then put this little one away. But when I'm going in to wipe on the top and on the underneath, I'm just spreading out any excess product that might be leaking. I'm trying to wipe it off so it doesn't get cured on my skin. So now those are fully cured. I really am liking these tips. They're like the perfect length. And I'm going in with this FZ Anist shade number 302. I just tested these in my most recent videos, the whole set, so check that out if you haven't already. But I wanted to go in with this shade because I thought it would be perfect for the Duckie French look that I'm going for today. And I'm going to end up doing like 3 or 4 coats of this shade. I really wanted to build it up and get it really pink looking. And here we are a few coats later, and I also went ahead and applied a matte top coat. I went in with that same Goy brand matte top coat. It came in a little set of 3, so I'll link that down below. It came with a base coat, a glossy, and a matte top coat. Now I'm going in with this pink color. I'm going to do a different color French tip for each nail. And then I'll go in with different designs. I've been seeing these nail sets, so I wanted to do my own take on it and go in with different colors. Just really fun. Not something that I had to commit to, which made it even more fun to kind of play around with the designs since I was planning to pop these off anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with doing each color on each tip. And now I'm gonna go in with the designs. So on this pink one, I'm gonna add some blue dots first and then cure. This is gonna end up being some cheetah print. So after I cured those dots, I went in with the black and I just cured in between just so there are no issues. I didn't want to mess up and have to wipe everything off. So now I'm just going in with these little black accents to make it look like the cheetah print. And then adding in like little black dots just to balance everything out in between. Then moving right along to the other dots, just adding these little black accents all around the dots that I added. You just kind of want to switch it up and don't do too many of the same kind of accents too close to each other, just to give it some variation. Then do some small, some big. And then when you add in all your lines and accents, it's going to look like some like Lisa Frank inspired cheetah print. So then I'm gonna add in that final little black accent and then cure that. And I had to start this tiger stripe differently than I normally would, just because I got some black on that orange that I didn't see until it was already cured. And I could have filed it off and just like filled it in and like, you know, fixed it, but I really didn't feel like it because I was popping these off anyways. So I just kind of did the tiger stripes a little bit differently than I normally would, but it still ended up looking okay. I would just normally go in a more uniform pattern versus just starting from that one random spot, but it all ended up tying together in the end. Now for the black nail, I'm going in with that gel-like 6-in-1. One of its uses is as a blooming gel, so that's what I'm using it as today. And I just did a layer of that on top of the black that was already cured. And I had kind of a different idea of how this would turn out. I thought those would spread out more. They didn't, so it didn't really turn out exactly like I wanted to. So in the end, I ended up having to swirl it all together because they just really stayed close to looking like dots. I think maybe I needed to add more blooming gel, or I'm not sure, maybe these colors were just too pigmented. But I ended up so here I'm trying to add in little dots with the blooming gel to spread it out more, but it still wasn't coming out that well, or as good as I wanted it. It looked okay, so I just went in with a brush and kind of swirled it around myself and just kind of made it like a tie-dye type pattern. And then the little extras I had on my brush, I brought lower on the black parts just to kind of fill it all in. And then I cured that, and now I'm moving on to the thumb, where I was inspired to do a little Hello Kitty. So I did the eyes, cured, again, didn't want to mess up and have to wipe everything off. And then I did the nose. Now cured that. Now moving on to the whiskers, and I started off with the middle whisker just to make sure the top and bottom were, you know, proportionate on center, if you will. And did the same thing on the other side, cured that, and then went in with the bow. So for the bow, I just took my dotting tool and made like an elongated oval kinda, so kind of just put two dots together. And then I didn't bother curing between it. I just went in and started drawing two kind of triangles shapes coming out of that center dot that I made. And then filled those two triangles in for the bow. And then after you finish that, go ahead and cure it, and then you can go in with the second layer of the pink if you want your bow to be more prominent. Here I'm going to go in with a layer of the same gel-like 6-in-1, and then my camera died, but I went in and added some rhinestones while the camera died and didn't realize that you guys weren't watching with me. But you can see here I just went in with a bunch of different purples on the pinky nail. I added a little bow onto Hello Kitty's bow, and then on the black ring finger I added just two little like black rhinestones on there. You'll see in a second when we add top coat to that one. But here we're going in with top coat on Hello Kitty first. And one thing I do is cure my thumb separately, so I went in there and cured my thumb. That is because I don't like when I do all of my nails at once and then my thumb is just sideways in there. Sometimes the gel polish will start like leaking off and it'll dry unevenly. So I just cure my 4 fingers separately from my thumb. But you can see here those little rhinestone details I added onto the ring finger, just 3 little black accents on there. And I don't like adding top coat on top of my rhinestones because it kind of rounds them out. But here is the final look after everything is cured. That's Hello Kitty. How cute is she? All the other nails. And normally I would go in and like do a full like file and just crisp them up a little bit, but I was popping these off so I didn't bother, and they still look cute anyways. But just keep in mind they look even cuter if I went in with the full file and did all that. Now it's crazy because after this I went and took a shower, and I was kind of hoping they would hold up, but one of them didn't. The pinky nail ended up coming off and I couldn't find it. But then I came and went to record me popping them off, and I lost that footage. So I went and recorded again, where on the bottom, so this pointer finger here, I added more of that Goy base coat, and then on the top one that I'm starting off with, I did the cuticle oil and top coat method. So I just filmed that so I could show you guys how it came off, since I forgot to hit record when I was doing that with the other set I just did. But here you can see that with the cuticle oil and top coat only, it pops right off. You just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit to get it a little bit loose, and it pops right off. And I already knew that one was going to come off easier because I just did this last night, but again, I lost the footage. So now we're doing the Goy one, and what I found with the Goy one is that it's a little bit harder to get going, which is kind of scary because it seems like it's going to hurt, because it's almost like seeming like it's really attached good. But you just have to work it, and it still pops right off. And you can see that neither of the methods damaged my nails at all. Like, neither have any nail layers missing, which, if your stuff really pops off, like after it's like ripped off, there's like nail layers and you're like bleeding. But no, none of that here. I did like both. I think I'm going to use the cuticle oil trick for when I'm like recording videos and stuff, but I want to test that Goy base coat and see how many days of wear I can get out of it before stuff starts popping off, because I have a feeling that might work for like if you want nails for a weekend, like a little weekend trip or something like that, or maybe if you want nails for a couple days, or just for however long until they come off, just without worrying about them damaging your actual nail when they come off. So I am interested to test that one out more. Plus it's under $10, so even better. But I really do like both, and I will be using both methods, just in different applications. Thanks for watching this video, especially if you're all the way here till the end. I hope you liked watching me test out these two different methods, and I hope you like the nail art. If you have any suggestions for other videos that you'd like me to make, please leave them down below. I've so far only been posting nail videos, but I do want to post other things like cooking, maybe makeup. Let me know if there are other topics anybody who's listening this far is interested in. Otherwise, please just like and subscribe. I do appreciate you being here, and I hope you stay tuned for my next video. Bye!